Dungeons and Dragons. A game that most people have at least heard of, but don't actually know the game. They don't know the stories or the adventures or the puzzles that you solve with your friends. Dungeons and Dragons was created by Gary Gygax in 1974. And little did he know he would be creating one of the biggest revolutionary games to ever be made. It influenced games for years to come in fantasy genres and role-playing games. And recently, Dungeons and Dragons has been gaining more traction with shows like Netflix's Stranger Things, where the opening shot is the main characters playing D&D, or Stephen Colbert's Late Night Show, where he talks about D&D. There's always been a latent interest for Dungeons and Dragons in society, but this is very much apparent with the show Critical Role, a show where professional voice actors play Dungeons and Dragons together. They managed to create a community across the world consisting of millions of fans of Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons has influenced our society, very much so, in gaming and other areas. But the biggest influence is on the people. The people who play Dungeons and Dragons. The people who have been there since the beginning, the people just getting into the game. This is our story, and why you should think about playing Dungeons and Dragons. So, what is Dungeons and Dragons? Dungeons and Dragons is a fantasy role-playing game where your dungeon master creates a world for you to play in, to be a person and a character. In this world, you use 7 dice to create decisions to see if you pass or fail, and otherwise it's left up to your imagination.
Hi, I'm Carson Reed.
My name is Johnny Howlett.
My name's Porter.
I'm Jazz Reynolds.
My name is Joshua Villalpando.
I play Urshan Femoris, a rogue Azamar.
In our campaign, I play a human fighter named Jaizoon.
My character, her name is Akra Distal. She is a dragonborn blood hunter.
I play a half-elven gunslinger named Cyrus.
He's just, kind of your typical sneaky guy, goes around backstabbing people. He had a bad experience one time when he was a kid, and he's kind of afraid of deep bodies of water.
He's a bit of an edgy boy. He talks like this. He's a pretty fun character to play. Sometimes.
But other times, it can kind of be a pain.
She paid way too much money for this camel and named it Jimbo, and she takes the camel everywhere and loves the camel and doesn't really like anybody else.
He's from a bad position in his past life, and now he's in a good position and he wants to help others.
Oh, how long have I been playing D&D? That's a good question.
So I'm one of the original 3 people that played in the campaign? No, 4. It was 4.
I've been interested in D&D for maybe like 7 years. And I started playing in 8th grade, so 4 or 5 years ago.
I've been playing D&D the shortest out of the whole group, but it still has been just about over a year for me.
A little over a year.
So I think I've been playing for about 1.5 years at this point. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be at least a year, if not more. Man, it's gone by fast.
D&D to me is really a whole nother experience aside from just a game.
I see it kind of more as like I wouldn't say quite culture, but this thing that I'm a part of.
Really, it's all about relationships and connecting with your friends. You get to go on and develop your own story with each other and experience these grandiose things that you could only imagine,
I didn't think that I would have a lot in common, but because we all played this one game and we could talk about it, it spawned other conversations, and we can talk for hours about music and TV shows and video games and a ton of other stuff. And
Really, it's a very great expression of creativity and passion that you get to share with others. And when you get to share that with others so openly, it becomes a really therapeutic and a very, very fun thing to do with others.
What is D&D? D&D has done so much for me. Well, for one, I don't people very well. I'm not very confident. I'm usually this really quiet, timid, keep to myself kind of person, at least in most situations. D&D has really helped me to push myself kind of out of that comfort zone and get more used to, talking to people.
Well, first of all, I never really considered myself a super outgoing person, because I'm mostly kind of introverted. But D&D has really helped bring me out of my shell, and start to push myself to go out and do more things.
I am now a directing and acting major. I honestly think that D&D has helped with that a lot, because I didn't have really any acting experience, but D&D is a lot of acting. And for those last year, the 3 hours that we play D&D, I'm just acting and practicing acting. And I think because of D&D, I am a better actor.
Personally, it has really helped me accept my nerdy side, because I've been nerdy for a long time. I was like, I love video games, I love books. I'm not like a lot of people, and I don't really want to express that. I just want to be the quiet kid and not talk. But D&D is so much fun, and I just want so many people to experience it that I honestly don't care what people think anymore. It just helped me realize I don't have to hide my nerdy qualities, and I can just express them a lot more, and it makes me happy to.
As well as just through D&D, I've just been able to try so many new things that I haven't done before, that I never probably would have tried doing without D&D, like pushing myself out of my comfort zone, I guess.
D&D is the first game that has given me the closest friends I think I will ever have, and closest things I think I will ever have to another family.
I gained some of the most amazing friends that I could have ever asked for. They helped me through my senior year. It was really hard, but knowing that I had Carson and Josh and Johnny and Porter, and they all were there for me no matter what, and they were standing by my side, that meant the world. And that game helped me get there.
And it's probably saved my life. It's one of the best things and best decisions I've ever done.
My name is Jordan Sanders. I am the current owner of Griffin Games and Comics. There are people who say they play first edition D&D, and I was playing when that was a thing. Over the years, play-wise, I would say the number one thing that has changed is the game has gone from a more adversarial game to more of a role-playing experience. So I've played with a lot of different people. I have been role-playing for nearly 40 years now. I don't think it's for everybody. It's not a video game. There's a lot of opportunity to get involved and enjoy the story in different ways. And I do think that most people can find some way to have fun with it. I think with the right group and the right game master, just about any... I don't think that being creative or nerdy is a prerequisite at all. I have taught a lot of people how to play who never thought they would do this. And it's a fun experience. There are certain things in life where you're like, oh, this makes sense, this is cool, this is fun. Even if you never thought about going and trying it, it's not like this is so different that it's like outside of the human norm. It's like this is you tell a story, you hang out with people, talk. It's a very natural thing once you've actually experienced what it is. If anything, it's a break from the rest of everything, and when I'm playing a game, it's very easy for me to just focus on the game and block out everything else that I'm worrying about throughout the week, and whatever stressors are out there are just like they disappear for the 3 or 4 hours that I get to play a game. And that's probably the best thing for my mental health. It's a lifetime endeavor, and it's also, it's been very rewarding for a long time.
Dungeons and Dragons has done so much for us as friends. It has made us the closest friends we could have ever hoped for. It has allowed us to make a world together and stories together and build characters and people. It has allowed us to join communities and have something in common or learn something new about other people. Dungeons and Dragons has just made an impact, plain and simple. It has pushed forth a new era of fantasy and RPG genre games. It's impacted our television and film and music. It's a fantastic game. That's what it is, a game. For you and your friends. So why not take the leap and play? You might make some of the best friends you've ever had and the funniest and most meaningful memories. I mean, what is there to lose? After all, it's just a roll of the dice.